Okay, she has an egg. We're ready. Hello.
Hi there.
You have an egg. You're ready.
Oh my God. There's nothing like having everything ready to go, and then the key element that you cannot substitute is not in your refrigerator. And your neighbor graciously has an egg to give you. Now that's what I call world peace.
It's so good to know your neighbors.
I know. So nice. So nice. So anyway.
Wow, it sure looks like it's
going down,
doesn't it?
It's been threatening to rain all day and not one drop. What up?
Yep. Yeah, it's just, come on, bring it. Well, they said tonight. It looks like tonight it might drop later. We'll see. But it looks pretty threatening right now.
I know, it's very dark and ominous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having some of my water.
It felt like a rainy day when you said you were going to do it.
I thought it was going to be a rainy day. Well, it was overcast, and I just was thinking, bread. It would be so good to eat some bread and have some. And then I was like, and then I was like, I have some scallions. And then I was like, I have some yogurt and garlic.
Are those the scallions from the yard?
Yes! These are from my recycled scallions that keep growing. They just keep growing. I trim them and then they keep growing. It's
so awesome. It's such an awesome thing. Like the recycled vegetables.
It's been the best thing that one of the best things I've learned. And I have celery out there, onion, radish, scallions.
Yeah. Awesome.
Done. Magic.
Yoo-hoo.
Yay. All right.
So tell me about
I guess I'm cooking, am I?
Yes, you're cooking.
I went through this phase, I think, right when I was out of college. When you're in your first apartment and you're like, yeah, I can cook, and then you only know 3 things, and then you say, out. And we made a lot of bread with my first few years out of school, and I just love the twisty cheddar chivy garlic bread, So this is, I don't even know where I got it. It probably was from a restaurant I worked in as a starving actor in the early days. Still starving, but anyway.
Things never change.
I know how to cook now. That's the difference.
In college, we used to make Mr. Bill. Remember Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live? We used to make Mr. Bill biscuits.
Like cookies? Mr. Bill?
No, out of biscuits.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Oh, I love Mr. Bill. Oh, does anybody even remember that? Who's watching?
I don't know. I love Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill. My roommate was Southern. She grew up in North Carolina, and she loved biscuits, and I loved grits, and that's what we made. That's what we lived on in college: biscuits and grits. So to spice up the whole thing, we make them in shapes.
It's amazing. I remember making so much pasta and bread and carbs in those days when nobody thought to not eat carbs or whatever. And we were so young and energetic and never gained a pound, Those were the days.
bread, so it's good for you.
It is. No, I this is going to be super tasty. And since the last time I made bread on the show, I discovered I had a proofing bread warmer selection on my stove, on my oven, which I did not know. It's great because it just makes the perfect rise. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make the dough and put it into rise, and then I'm going to make the filling, and it obviously will set aside, waiting for it to. But I have proofed the yeast, and it's bubbling away. Happy to say, alive and well.
Yay! Well, tell everybody about that, because we had this conversation about you being nervous, and I asked you if you proofed your yeast. So tell everybody what that means.
Well, bread makes me nervous. No, I'm kidding. There is an expectation when you use yeast. It's like, will it rise or will it not? Like other things in life. And you're really hoping for the best. So when you proof the yeast, you put it in my case, I put it in some warm milk with a little bit of sugar, and it's bubbling away, and that's it's yeasting away. So I know it's alive, and you don't always have to do that. I mean, most, I would say, active dry yeast are really, they're like foolproof. They don't die or anything. But maybe you've had it in your cupboard for a long time, and you're not sure if it's still good. You just want to make sure that it's alive, basically, because it's a living thing, right? Am I wrong? Am I saying it right?
That's what I would say. The only thing that I would add to that is it should be done in glass and not stirred with metal.
I took your advice last time, Debriana. I stirred it with a spoon and I put it in glass. And I'm making it in glass.
All right.
Even though last time I did it in a metal bowl, and it did work for that crazy brioche that stressed me out for 10 hours. But this, this is pretty foolproof. So. Yeah, it's like being backstage before you go on, before the Nixon play or something, and you're like, will I make it? Will I make it? Oh, I remember my lines.
Fine.
Okay. All right.
Well, I want to see this bread. It sounds delicious.
Well, what was while I make this, do you have a memory of being in a theater, in a play, where you're backstage and you're freaking out? Like, what's your fond every play? What's your favorite freak out backstage memory?
I'm definitely a protest girl. I love rehearsal. I could rehearse all the time. And if I never walked out onto the stage, I don't know if I'd care that much. But once the show gets going and I'm lost, then lost in the show, then I'm fine. But I just love rehearsal. I like digging.
Okay, I did not know that about you.
Yeah, I like trying to figure out people's motivations and why they behave the way they do, and developing nuances of reactions and discovering things. And I don't know. I usually, before every show, I'm standing there right before we go on going, would someone remind me why I do this? Because I'm totally forgotten. And I've definitely thrown up so many before, and yeah, I'm always nervous.
I love the performance part. Of course, I love rehearsal, but I love performing and the connection with the audience and how it's different every night, and you get lost in it, of course. But I was just thinking back to, I have a dance nightmare that I had for about 10 years because I performed in the Nutcracker for years in my hometown, and I have this dream where I'm backstage at this giant theater in Santa Barbara. It's called the Arlington Theater, and we perform there at Christmas time. And I'm backstage. I have my whole outfit on, and it's Waltz of the Flowers, and I'm in the corps de ballet, and the ballet director comes up to me, Carol Hanlon, goes, Katie Huffman's sick. You have to go out and do the soloist part. You have to do the lead. And I go, I don't know it. And she goes, you're the only one who put the costume. Get it on her. And then like rip my costume off. They sew it on me. And I'm like, oh shit. And I see the huge, theater, and I get my toe shoes. And I'm like, ah! And I like go like this. And then I wake up. I take one step, and then I go woo, and then I wake up. The fear is so great of failure. The fear of failure.
It is. It's pretty deep. Once I'm in the run of any show, once I'm in the run, I'm not that way. It's always just the first night for me.
Really? Oh God. Yeah, I can see that.
Always. Oh yeah. Growing
right.
up, I'm so nervous.
Now I just made myself more nervous. Okay. So what I'm making. So right now what I'm doing is I'm gonna make bread. I'm not gonna be dancing on point. So no worries there. Anybody?
No.
So what I have done now is I have just put in a bowl 1.5 cups flour,
mm-hmm.
1/4 teaspoon salt. I'm going to now put in some ground flaxseed because I'm programmed just every time I make a bread product of any sort.
I know.
Put a tablespoon. I like it. Then I'm going to put the butter, the egg, the milk, the yogurt, and the yeast with the sugar and that has the milk incorporated. So we're going to mix all that together. So right now I'm just taking the dry ingredients.
By hand, right? You're not going to use a dough hook?
I'm just going to, this one's pretty easy to do by hand. So I'm going to do it that way. But you can absolutely put it on your big mixer with a hook. But you can also, this is a real handsy one. So, you don't have to do a lot of kneading. It's really just combining it and leaving it in the bowl.
Okay.
Then it rises, and then after it rises, that's when you really knead it.
Okay.
After it cooks. Okay. So we've got all the dry stuff in. So now we're going to put the wet stuff, which is a 1/4 cup yogurt, and I have this brown cow whole milk cream on the top.
Oh, that's my favorite. Brown cow whole milk is my favorite.
Wow. I'm going to mix it because
I love it.
I know. I don't want it to be all cream. I want it to get that yogurt flavor. And I have my little cup.
Oh, look, she has a cup. Oh, she has a cup.
Measuring this. Okay. We're going to put that in there, and then we're going to put in the milk and yeast. Well, I'm going to put the egg first. 1 egg. Thank you, Jade.
Yay, thank you.
1 egg. Then we have 1.5 tablespoons of melted butter.
Are those your new measuring cups?
Yes. Isn't that great?
Yay.
I mean to get us back. Okay, so we're going to put the melted butter in. That. Okay, and then we're going to do the yeast and the milk. So that's going to go in.
And so you serve this bread, is it like a side bread for a dinner, like rolls, or do you make sandwiches with it? What do you do?
You can really do whatever shape you want. I'm going to do something a little crazy today. I'm going to actually do the twisty where I fill it, and then I'm going to make 3 sections, and I'm going to braid it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Twist it around. So, I can either decide to make it like a hollow shape, or I could make it around the bowl thing, with the braid and it puffs up. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided. But this is totally incorporated now. Okay, very easy. Very, very easy. And so this is going to go and to rise in my oven. I'm just going to put it together with my hands, with my little flour. I can't believe it. That was so funny on that episode. Where I'm so much more familiar with my kitchen after all this time in quarantine. Does everybody notice that?
Kidding, right?
It's so different now. I swear, I think I've grown as a person. I know I can really do things now that I couldn't do before because I hadn't done them in years.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff I've done that I haven't done in years. I don't think I made zucchini bread in years.
No, I was thinking about it today, Jobriana. Do you realize that we've made about 55 or more recipes each? Do you realize that?
Oh my God.
That's
it's a lot of cooking, people.
A lot of cooking, people.
A lot of cooking.
So I've got the dough here. It's looking great. I'm going to just make it into a beautiful little ball. See?
So is it sticky or soft, or what is it feel like?
Sticky. I just put a little bit of flour on it. A little bit sticky. But
are you moving it, or are you just making it incorporated more or less?
It just turned into a perfect dough by stirring. It didn't have to do much. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm then going to cover it in a dishcloth and put it in for about 30
oven.
My lovely proofy oven. And I'm going to let it rise for about 30 to 40 minutes. It has to double in size. So whatever that means.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bye. Bye, little baby.
Say goodbye, everybody. All right. So that's going in there. Bye. Now, I have to wash my hands.
So you're going to make a filling?
Yes. It's like what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to describe it to you. So what you do is, and I'll take pictures of this, So basically what you do is the dough rises. You take it out, you knead it, and you're going to separate it into 3 long, like baguette shapes, right? And then you roll out each one, and they're small. They're not huge or anything. And then you're going to put this mixture, you're going to spread this mixture on there. You're going to roll them up, right? And that becomes one of the strands of the braid, okay?
Yeah.
So then you have these 3 things filled with chive, cheddar, garlic, butter, salt and pepper, and red pepper flakes. And
of course,
I'm going to braid it. I'm going to wrap it around, and then I'm going to brush it with butter and put some more cheddar on top and chives. And then it has to proof yet again, and then you bake it.
Okay. So are you going to make the filling?
I'm going to make the filling right now. That's what I'm
okay.
doing. So,
yes, Lisa maybe has earned another set of measuring cups.
Now, this is what I got. I'll tell you guys. I have many of these Pyrex glass ones for liquid.
Mm-hmm.
I now have these great bamboo colored ones for dry. And then I have my trusty copper. That's all I got. That's all I got.
It's nice.
Right.
Well, so here's my question about the bamboo ones. Are they do you know if they're liquid or dry?
You know what? It didn't sit on the box. But
I'm curious.
assuming, and
They're
I
all
should, I'm assuming that they're dry, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would too. But hey, usually the ones that are liquid have a measurement in ounces next to it. So it'll say 1 cup, 8 ounces.
It doesn't. It just says, like, one just says a 1/4 cup. Oh, wait a minute. We're 80 milliliters.
Oh,
Wow.
so
Yay!
it's probably liquid.
No ounces. So, okay. So here's the filling. So you take 2 tablespoons of melted butter.
Okay.
Once again. Now you're going to need some butter to brush on the top. I'll put that in the recipe because you're not going to see me do that part.
Okay.
And then it's 5 tablespoons of scallions, and you want to save a little bit for the top. So I'm just going to measure out 5 here with my measuring.
She's measuring the scallions.
4.
Yay!
5. So you want to leave like 1 tablespoon for the top.
Yeah.
That's enough. It's not a giant. Well, believe me, this will be gone in a sitting. Okay. All right. Then you're gonna have 3 cloves of garlic that you put through the garlic cup, which we've already prepared.
Okay.
It's very garlicky too, which I love.
Yum.
You're gonna put
Garlic, butter, cheese. You're right in there, girl.
sharp, the sharpest cheddar you can get grated. Already done. Yay!
Look at you and your mise en place. What?
You need to cook when it's been prepared, Okay, and then we're gonna do, I don't know, like a dash of sea salt. I'm gonna put in like probably a quarter teaspoon sea salt.
I would think that some of that depends on how salty your cheese actually is.
Yes, and what your preference is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a preference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like, I don't know, like 5 grindings of the pepper, and then I'm gonna do probably, that looks like a 1/4 of red pepper flakes.
Okay.
Well, I love red pepper flakes.
Yeah, green chili would be good in there too.
Oh yeah, you can really go improv crazy with this. This is just the one I do.
And we all know your children are purists.
This though, there's something about the sour cream and chive flavory kind of thing that they love. Mm-hmm. And see, I use yogurt because I was out of sour cream, but you can use sour cream in this too.
Yeah, that
works. Something sour. So okay, so this is great filling.
Okay. Yum.
This is just gonna sit and wait.
Nice. Okay.
And then I'll take pictures.
Okay.
Roll it out, spread it on, do the braids. I'll be here for hours.
But now I want to make it.
I know. Well, it has to proof one more time. But for bread, it's actually super. This is so easy.
That's so easy. No, I'm thinking, do I have everything in my refrigerator to make it for tonight?
Compared to other breads that are way more work intensive, this is super easy to make. And so tasty. You guys won't even believe how good it is.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Really good. Yeah,
cool.
That's it. That's
Yay.
it.
Well, thank you. And thank you for showing us your beautiful bread. Oh. And I have 2 things to let you know about tonight.
And they are?
There are 2 organizations that I learned about today. One is called the Voter Participation Center.org. And that is a group of young people, people of color, and unmarried women that are organizing to make sure that group of people votes. So if you know anybody who falls into that, or you want to learn more about that organization and help them out, voterparticipationcenter.org. The other one is vote411.org, and that organization does a number of things. It will help you register. It will check your registration. It will also let you know who's on your ballot in your area, so you can be prepared for the election. So
I
those are
I
two
don't know
things
about you,
to know about.
Debrianna. Did you get your postcard in the mail yet for New Mexico?
No.
So I just got my postcard, and it basically says, okay, you're good to go. This is your precinct. This is your
Oh, great.
that. And I got so excited, I put it on my bulletin board. And I was thinking, if you were out there and you didn't get yours, go to the is it the New Mexico State website for voter
It's
registration?
the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State, yeah.
Because New Mexico is notorious for it getting a little funky when you get to the voting thing. I've always been able to do it, but I know many people that feel like they do everything right, and then they show up, they're like, oh, you're not on the rolls. And it's like, what? So you really you got to make sure. Don't leave it to, oh, I'm sure I'm fine. Actually, actually really do the follow-up work to find out. And if you have a high school senior like I do, who's going to be voting for the first time, get them and their friends excited about voting. In fact, we're going to have a party and we're going to register a lot of 18-year-olds in a couple of weeks. And it's going to be
Yeah. I always mention it when I'm at if I'm at a register or coffee shop or whatever. Well, that was before Corona, but not so much now. But if someone asks what I can, like at the end of a conversation when they say, is there anything else I can do for you? And I'm like, yes, register to vote. And then you can tell someone how. Like if they don't know, you can go to this website, what is it? Voter 411? I think it is. Vote411.org. Write it down. Tell people about it.
And Corona Kitchen viewers, I can vouch for this because I was just at the bank 2 days ago with Debrianna, and the client bank manager said, is there anything else we can do for you? And she said, yes.
Yes. I always do that. Yes, vote.org is also another organization where you can check your voter registration. I just learned about this new one today, vote411.org, because it also gives you a lot more other information, like where to go to vote and all that stuff. You put in your address and it tells you all that stuff. So
there's so much to it. People don't realize it's not just, oh, you show up. It's like, yes, it will be the president you're voting for, but also all the other offices. So you got to do your homework. I always check out things like the League of Women Voters and organizations that give their thing. I always like to form my own opinion and read through what everybody believes in and stands for and what they want to do and all that stuff. It's your right as a citizen to do this homework.
People died for this right that we have and we take for granted. So we're not everybody, but we can tend to take it for granted. People died for this. So all you have to do is show up and vote.
Do your homework. Do your homework and find out who you're voting for.
Yay. Anyway. All right. So I will play us out on that note.
Awesome. Are we going to dance every time?
Maybe when I get used to it, I won't. My husband's dancing in the kitchen.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone. Wear a mask.